Hi, I'm your host, Ruggero Dalla Santa, and today we're looking at one of the most common mistakes that directors do when they work with their actors. Lights are up, cameras are rolling, you say action, and the actor says a line, and you don't like it. So what do you do then? A very common mistake that directors do is to jump up and just say it like this, and then speak the line themselves. This feels like a quick way to fix the issue, but unfortunately in most cases it just creates more problems. When you tell actors how to say their lines, first of all, you're taking away all of their creativity, and second, they will be so focused on replicating the sounds you made that their performance will lose all of its spontaneity. Of course, this isn't true for everybody. I know that some big directors do it and they make it work. But remember that you have to really know your actors and make sure that they can keep their interpretation fresh whilst doing what you're telling them to do. The reason many people do this is because they don't know how else to communicate what they want. Remember that saying a line in a certain way means giving it a certain subtext, a certain meaning. In later videos, we'll look at many different ways to help your actors create a performance by looking at objectives and gear changes and stuff like that. For today, I'll just give you a couple of quick fixes. One thing you can do is to rephrase a line and then use this new version to show the interpretation you want. So if the line is, I brought you here today because I thought you were part of the team. I thought you saw the bigger picture and were willing to go the extra mile for it. You can show your actors how you'd like them to play it by saying, I thought you wanted to be one of us. That's why I brought you here today. I thought that you understood what we're trying to do here and that you were willing to do anything in your power to achieve that. This way they won't get stuck trying to replicate your sounds, but they will still manage to understand what it is that you want. If you find it hard to rephrase a line, you can instead act out the subtext. Well, if you don't do what I ask you to do today, that means you're not part of our team. And if you're not one of us, that means you're against us. Or you can even describe the interpretation you want whilst you're acting it out. This usually looks quite silly, but it's very effective. First I am charming and remind you that you want to be part of our team. Then I become more serious and imply that if you do not do what I ask, you're gonna become an enemy. And what can you do if you're an actor and the director is telling you how to say your lines? First of all, understand that he's not doing it out of malice, but just because he doesn't know how else to communicate what he wants. So don't take it personally. The best thing would be to have a private chat with your director and explain that this way of working is actually hindering your performance. But of course, this might not always be possible. So one thing you can do is to look beyond the sounds to what is the subtext of his interpretation. Basically, listen to what he's doing and then translate that in your head in a direction that you can work with. This way, even though the sounds might not be exactly the same, hopefully the interpretation will be what the director is looking for. Do you often tell your actors how to say their lines? And as an actor, how do you feel when a director does that? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. See you next week.